Hello guys, welcome to i-tutor Academy. In today's session, we will start with Unit 4, Subsection 8 of MMBC 006. It is personal factors. Okay, so let's begin. A consumer purchase decision are also affected by his personal characteristics such as age, sex and stage in family life cycle, education, occupation, income, lifestyle, his overall personality and overall self-concept. We shall now discuss some of the influences and demographic factors and life cycle stages. The first factor influences a buyer's decision in his age. The need for different product and services changes with the age. Babies and children have a special need for products such as milk powder, baby food, toys, etc. So age based the choices will change. There are certain psychological differences between men and women which result in their having different consumption needs. Women need specialized medical facilities for pregnancy, delivery, etc. Their requirements for clothes and cosmetics is different from that of men. Each gender thus has its own need for specific product and services. So here is one table one you just analyze from your IGNOU study material MBA. And consumption behavior is also influenced by the specific stage of the family life cycle. And table one here you just go through it. And education and occupation. Education widens a person's horizon, refines his taste and makes his outlook more cosmopolitan and educated person as compared to somebody less educated is more likely to consume education facilities, that is books, magazines and other knowledge oriented product and services. For instance, in India we find that educated families are more inclined towards adopting family planning than families which have no educational background. The occupation also shapes the consumption needs. People following specialized occupations such as photography, music, dance, carpentry, etc. need special tools and equipments. But apart from this specific need, the status and role of person within an organization affect his consumption behavior. Chief executive would buy a three-piece suit of the best fabric, handmade leather briefcase and use services of airline and five-star hotels. A junior manager or blue-collar worker in the same organization may also buy a three-piece suit, but he compromises on quality. Income. The income which a person earns is an extremely important influence on his consumption behavior. He may aspire to buy certain goods and services, but his income may become a constraint. And personality is sum total of an individual psychological traits, characteristics, motives, habits, attitude, beliefs and outlooks. Personality is the very essence of individual differences. In consumer behavior, personality is defined as those inner psychological characteristics that both determine and reflect how a person responds to his environmental stimuli. Personality is enduring and ensures that a person's response are consistent over time. That is about personality. And lifestyle, and the lifestyles are defined as pattern in which people live as expressed by the manner in which they spend money and time on every various activities and interest. Lifestyle is a function of our motivation, learning, attitude, beliefs and opinion, social class, demographic factors, personality, etc. While regarding this unit, you are playing the role of a student, but at the same time you also have your career, family and social roles to play. The manner in which you blend these different roles reflect your lifestyle. This is a lifestyle dimension. Table 2 is here. Activities, interest, opinion, demographic are there. In activity, work, hobbies, social, vacation, entertainment, club membership, community, shopping, sports, etc. And in interest, there is family, home, job, community, recreation, fashion, food, media, achievements, and opinions themselves, social issues, political, business, economic, education, and product, future, culture, etc. Demographic is based on age, education, income, occupation, family, so etc. are there. You just refer your table 2 of lifestyle dimension. And activity 5 is here for based on the content. You just try to do it. And next is social factors. Okay, in social factor reference group, as a consumer, your decision to purchase and use certain product and services is influenced not only by psychological factors, your personality, lifestyle, but also by the people around you with whom you interact and the various social group to which you belong. The groups with whom you interact directly or indirectly influences your purchase decision, and thus their study is of great importance to marketers. A group is defined as two or more people who interact to achieve individual or common goals. The three categories of group which are important for the marketers to understand are: one is primary and secondary group. Primary is one of which with which an individual interact on a regular basis and whose opinion is of important to him. Family, neighbor, close friends, colleagues and co-workers are examples of primary group. And formal and informal groups, members of club, are some of the well-known social group in our society. Labor union, social club and societies are other type of formal groups to which individual may belong. And in contrast, an informal group is loosely defined and may have no specified roles and goals. Meeting your neighbors over lunch once a month for friendly exchange of news is an instance of an informal group. Membership and a symbolic group. A membership group is one to which a person belongs or qualifies for membership. All workers in a factory qualify for membership to the labor union. A symbolic group is one which an individual aspires to belong to but is not likely to be received as member. And any of these groups can serve as reference group for a consumer if it is served as point of reference or comparison in the formation of the value, attitude and behavior. Different kind of groups, whether small or large, formal or informal or symbolic, qualify as a reference group. The concept of reference group is a very wide one and included both direct and indirect individual and group influences. And major reference groups are here: individual, that is reference group; family, friends, social class, culture, etc. Indirect reference group comprise those individual or groups with whom an individual does not have any direct face-to-face contact, such as film stars, TV, sportsmen, politicians, etc. Reference group are used in advertising to appeal to different market segments. Group, the situation with which potential customers can identify, are used to promote product and services. Hidden in this appeal is the subtle inducement to the consumer to identify himself with the user of the product in question. The three type of reference group appeals most commonly used are celebrities, experts and the common man. Celebrities are well known people who are admired and their fans aspire to emulate their behavior. Film stars and sports heroes are the most popular celebrities. Soft drinks, shaving cream, toilet soaps, textiles are advertising using celebrities from the sports and film field. Experts such as doctors, lawyers, accountants, and others are used for establishing the benefit of the product. And another reference group appeal is that which uses the testimonial of a satisfied customer. It demonstrates to the prospective customer that someone just like him uses and is satisfied with the product. And family, the family is the most important of all these groups and we shall discuss it in detail. The family as a unit is an important consumer for many products which are purchased for consumption by all family members. It is a source of major influence on the individual members buying behavior, and we can identify two families which shape an individual's consumption behavior. One is the family of orientation, that is the family in which you are born and consists of your parents, brothers and sisters. It is from parents that we imbibe most of our values, attitude, belief and purchase behavior patterns. And the second type of family is the family of pro-recreation, consisting of consumer, spouse and children. Within the family, different members play different roles. Marketers are interested in finding out exactly the role played by individual members so that they can appropriately design their promotion strategy to suit these of differing roles. Traditionally, it has been the wife's role to purchase food, clothing and other household sundries, while the husband played a dominant role in the purchase of automobiles and life insurance, etc. And next is role. An individual may participate in many groups. His position within each group can be defined in terms of the activities he is expected to perform. And status, each role that a person play has status, which is relative prestige accorded by society. Status is often measured by the degree of influence an individual exert on the behavior and attitude of others. And group norms, the norms of a group are the implicit rule of conduct and behavior that are expected of its members. For instance, in certain multinational companies in India, the norms for office wear include a full sleeve shirts and ties, notwithstanding the terrible heat conditions. And conformity. Conformity implies that members of a group have adopted attitude and behavior pattern that are consistent with the group's norms. In the context of consumer behavior, it refers to the percentage of members who knowingly use the same brand or product. And opinion leaders, apart from the family, a consumer is influenced by the advice he receives from his friends, neighbors, relatives, and colleagues about what product and service he should buy. This process of influencing is known as the opinion leadership process and is described as the process by which one person informally influences the action or attitude of others. And the advice of opinion leaders is sought in case of specific product. People who have acquired considerable knowledge and experience in a particular field are thought of as opinion leader in that area. Advertisers and marketers are concerned with reaching the opinion leader and ensuring that they receive the intended information which they can in turn pass on to opinion receivers. And diffusion of innovation, opinion leaders are usually innovators. They are always trying out new products and brands and recommending them to the opinion receivers. The acceptance of new product, brands, and ideas is known as the diffusion of innovation. In a narrow sense, innovation is defined as something new or modified which has a relative advantage over the existing product. And here is activity 6 is here based on the content. You just try to do it. And next is cultural factors. Culture is extremely critical and all pervasive influence in our life. It is a mold in which we are all cast, and it control our daily lives in many unsuspected ways. Okay, the study of culture encompasses all aspects of a society such its religion, knowledge, language, law, customs, traditions, music, art, technology, work pattern, product, etc. And here is class culture is learned through the following three ways. One is formal learning, informal learning, and technical learning. Okay, so though a marketer can influence all three type of learning through his company's advertising strategy, it is informal learning which is most amenable to such a influence. Okay, example also there, you just go through your material once. And convenience, with more women joining the workforce, there is an increasing demand for products that help lighten the relieve the daily household chores and make life more convenient. This is reflected in the soaring sales of gas stove, food process, washing machine, vacuum cleaner, ready to eat or cook packet of dehydrated frozen pre-cooked food, fast food outlet, and many more. Education, people in our society today wish to acquire a relevant education and skill that would help improve their career prospect. This is evident from the fact that so many professional career oriented educational institute in technology and management education are coming up, and still they cannot seem to meet the demand. And physical appearance, physical fitness, good health, and smart appearance are on premium today. Slimming centers, beauty parlors, yoga centers mushrooming in all major cities of the country. And materialism, there is a definite shift in people's culture value from spiritual towards materialism, and the people are spending more money than ever before acquiring products such as air condition, car, motorcycle, home air, screen, theater, etc. Next is subculture. Within the large framework of a society. There is exist many subcultures, and a subculture is an identifiable distinct cultural group which, while following the dominant culture values of the overall society, also has its own belief, value, customs and rituals that set them apart from other members of the society. And these subcultures offer ready made market segments to the marketer, who can position his product to meet the specific needs, motivation, perception, and attitude of each subcultures. Next is social culture. And social culture, in every society there is inequality in social status among us different people, and the people are categorized into different social classes. Social classes can be defined as relatively permanent and homogeneous division in a society in which individual or families sharing similar value, lifestyle, interest, and behavior can be categorized. Social classes is concept based on distribution of status, and the categories are usually ranked in a hierarchical order ranging from low status to high status. Okay, social class is complex variable, and which is determined by a person's income, occupation, education, personal performance, and possession of different type of products. And one of table 4 is here. You just go through your material and it will more clear. All right, next one is what is decision. In the earlier section we have discussed the concept of consumer behavior, its importance to marketers, and the simple model of consumer behavior. Eventually, the factors influencing consumer behavior have been dealt very exhaustively for better understanding and their role in the decision makes process. A decision is the selection of an alternative out of the several members of alternative available. It is only when there are two or more alternatives available that there is the need to make a choice. In the field of consumer behavior, we are only concerned with the situation in which the consumer has to take a purchase decision where there is a choice available. Next is levels of consumer decisions. As a buyer or consumer, you are all the time making decisions such as what product to buy, right? Which brand of soap, from where to buy, etc. etc. So here is table 1, brand level, retail level, etc. You just go through that table. Next is process of decision making. The most basic and important requirement for marketer is to understand how consumer make choice. Okay, generally speaking, human beings are usually quite rational and make systematic use of information available to them. People consider the implication of their action before they decide to engage or not to engage in a given behavior. And in case of breed, the only decision variable may be which brand, quantity, and retail outlet, etc. And involvement. When a product is perceived to be of great personal importance to the customer, such a personal clothing or its purchase involved a great deal of money or risk, such as jewelry, car, house, company shares, the level of involvement in making the decision is likely to be very high. And differentiation. When the consumer perceive that the various alternatives which are available are very different from one another in terms of their features and benefits offered, he is likely to spend more time gathering information about and evaluating these different features, right? And time pressure. When you are under pressure to make decision quickly, you cannot afford to spend a long time finding out about the various product or brands. You would probably buy whatever is readily available, right? So time also one of the important factor. And next one is type of purchase decision behavior. Consumer buying behavior varies with the type of buying decision. Earlier we stated that while decision for buying bread was almost made automatically, the decision for buying a sofa set was more deliberate and time consuming. So here is routinized responsible behavior, limited problem resolving, and extended problem solving. These are the three categories. Routine response behavior, RRB. This occurs when the consumer already has some experience of buying and using the product. He is familiar with the various brands available and the attributes of each, and has well established criteria for selecting his own brand. And limited problem solving, LPS. In this type of buying behavior, the consumer is familiar with the product product and the various brand available, but has no established brand preference, right? So next is extensive problem solving. In extensive problem solving occurs when the consumer is encountering a new product category. He need information on both the product category as well as the various brand available in it. This kind of decision is by far the most complex. So they need all information for the same. So this is about today's section. For more MBA videos, you just do like, share and subscribe our channel. Thank you so much.
i-tutor Academy presents IGNOU MBA complete syllabus coverage classes for individual students, semester-wise subject with online and flexible timing. For more details, contact on +916 238 21785.